Today on The Avenue, our home is ready for Christmas and I'm taking you on a full tour. My family and I love how it turned out, and I hope it gives you some inspiration for your own holiday decorating. Merry Christmas! Our home is holiday ready and we'd love to share it with you. Come on in. We've made our own wreaths and decked the whole house out, and we'll start by showing you our entry. It was inspired by Ralph Lauren this year, as I'm sure most of us were, and I kept seeing this grand entry moment done with fabric, and I thought we would do it with garland. Right when you come into our home, we have a chandelier, but it doesn't give off a lot of lighting. So we draped live garland from the chandelier to each corner of the room, draped them with twinkle lights, and now it has a really soft, welcoming, and exciting feel. We also have our drippy droopy candles here that we made with just loops of fabric, a grand mirror, and then some live and mixed faux foliage here with just some fun little touches. You'll see all these repeated items throughout the home. You'll see the chrome, live and faux garland, touches of red, and Christmas charm. One of my children's favorite new items, and mine too, if I'm being honest, is this hotel lobby luggage cart. I've been wanting one of these since last year. I told my husband, what do you think about getting a luggage cart? Because when we have company, it's usually a lot of people, full cars of things, and wouldn't it be fun to roll this out and bring in all of their luggage, and bonus, the bottom of it's red, and we can fill it with Christmas presents until then. And he loved the idea, so do I, so this is gonna be a Christmas staple in our entry. Right off the entry is our home's home office. This is where I work most of the day. We've got our big round table here that usually I'm doing projects at or kids are doing homework. But for the holiday season, it's our gift wrapping station. So we're wrapping presents in here. I did do something that I don't normally do, which people ask me all the time. Do you switch out your furniture for staging inventory all the time? And I really don't, but I did this season because we just acquired this great 1940s French sofa. It's just over 6 feet long, and it's so Christmassy to me, and it's a fun addition. The kids love reading books in here, and it goes really well with the whole library feel of the home office. One of the easiest ways that I like to decorate a room for Christmas is just by adding garland and lights or wreaths. So here we've draped over our bookshelf some garlands and light. I added some live greenery to our magnolia wreath here, and it just has a real nice, homey, natural feel. It's not overly done, and a gorgeous, oversized bowl of ornaments gives it the Christmas vibe and ties in the colors of the sofa and the vintage vase over here. Honestly, I was out of all of my greenery, but I had extra live garland, so I just snipped and cut and drooped some over, and I actually loved it even more than a big tall arrangement. So this was just a fun happenstance moment that ended up being my favorite here in the office. Coming into our living room, you see our family forest. For each member of our family, we have a handmade wooden Christmas tree, and we'll just keep adding on to it as we get more family members with all of the marriages and grandchildren that will come hopefully not too soon. And then one of our sweet candles that we made from beeswax in our shop. I just love these. They're scattered about the house and give a nice warm glow. We didn't do too much in the kitchen as we still are going to be cooking up a storm every day, but we added a large oversized wreath over the hood, some poinsettias, a little mini rosemary wreath that I made that I scattered about the house. It gives off a really nice smell. And I always love having a bit of greenery in each room. And our kitchen island, I like one focal point where everything is. So this is a vintage vase that I actually sourced through my friend Cece. And then we've got live and faux foliage here. And this has got to be one of my favorite things to decorate. is all of these little vintage mini copper pots and pans and colanders. It's like the most fun little kitchen accent and makes for a fun little twinkle on the island. All right, this is where we eat every night. This is our kitchen table. And this one I kind of kept basic because we've got the greenery up on the wall. So these are some handmade wreaths that I made. We just use tablecloth gauze to hang them from a single nail above. It gives off so much Christmas, and I liked keeping everything else plain. So we just added a little lumbar pillow to each of the head chairs, and again, pulled in that chrome and candlelight with still plenty of room to sit around the table and dine together. The large table behind our sofa in the living room is usually my catch-all for all my fun and pretty things that I like using and seeing. This year, we've got an oversized bowl filled with years past of Christmas cards. We go through these every year multiple times, and it's a fun way to see how everyone's grown, look back at friends old and new, and revisit some old Christmas memories. A large bowl of pine cones from our cabin makes a nice statement just inside a already pre-made wreath, and of course our paper whites that are just about a week away from blooming. Here's one thing that I always enjoy putting out. I like mixing up where it goes every year, but this is a picture of my grandfather and my grandmother on their first Christmas. And if you can see, there is a secretary desk in the background. I just absolutely love their tree. But the secretary desk is actually in our bedroom now. So that makes me feel a real great Christmas connection to both my grandparents. On our staircase, we have live garland in big swoops with twinkle lights and big bows and bells tied at the ends for a little bit of festivity. I was going to double up on them and make them extra thick, but I actually just really love the simplicity of a single garland. That's not the case on our mantle. Our mantle, we did multiple layers of garland, multiple layers of sticks and foraged magnolia. And this is the first year that I've separated our stockings. I think it just kind of gives a nice fun little difference. Usually they're all in one corner or spread out evenly, but I opted to use both of our different stockings that I usually pick one or the other of. There are 8 of us, so it's an even number. It's nice and balanced and brings in the browns and the reds and creams that we have going on this year. Here on the coffee table, we have some candles, all my favorite books that I love to look at, paper whites, and this is a fun box. We normally have our remotes hidden, and this little gifty box is something that we use to put our remotes in during the Christmas season when we take away our other box. So it's still nice and collected and warm feeling, but practical. Okay, so this is our Christmas tree. I opted for a more plain tree this year. I normally like to do just lights and a little bit of decor. I know I said plain and it doesn't look very plain. What you're looking at is hours and hours of making these garlands, and next year we'll probably use them in another way. I hadn't seen them used on a tree. They're usually hanging in entryways, and there are lots of different ways to make them. We made them by using 4-inch styrofoam balls, and again, a gauzy fabric and some floral wire. But I think it's so fun. It's big impact. Didn't take too long to decorate, did take a while to make. And then our tree skirt, because the tree is oversized, we just used a canvas drop cloth, which I love using for so many different things. I love using them for pin boards, tablecloths, and evidently tree skirts. Here in our formal dining room, I left the table rather bare, again, because we gather and eat a lot here and I didn't want to have to move things out. But these walls in the dining room are finally finished, and it couldn't have come at a better time. We finished them right before Thanksgiving, and I just absolutely love both of them. But this one is so much fun. It's just a 11-foot picture ledge wall, and the pictures can all come off. There are no holes in the wall, so we didn't have to hang anything. We can switch things around whenever we'd like. And we simply added live garland, and it looks so festive and fun. It makes me so happy every time I look over here, and knowing that it will be so simple to switch it up, mix pieces out, really brings me a lot of joy. And if you caught our last episode in Alameda, you saw that Stephen and I got matching miniature square leather picture frames, and I put mine up, and I put in a little piece of paper where our daughter Leslie was practicing her handwriting when she was little. On the other side of our dining room, we have our large built-in that Daniel finished. From a few episodes back, you saw me drawing all over the wall of what I wanted it and hoped that it would look like, and he couldn't have done a better job. It looks perfect. We have our lidded baskets with all of our items hidden in them. I get to display pretty pieces. We've already been using this. We have some candles, a mirror that reflects the whole dining room, and just some fun serving pieces. Again, a little touch of Grandma and Grandpa. Look how happy they were. What a fun Christmas that was. So just displaying all these happy memories makes me so happy. And because it's all open, it's extremely easy to switch things out, move things around, and grab things to use them. Here in our downstairs bathroom, we just added some greenery and a little mini wreath. I took a dried floral wreath that I already had and added some cedar to it. And it's a real pretty little touch in the bathroom, and I like putting a little something special in the bathroom. And then into Leslie's room. She's our 6-year-old daughter, and I wanted to do something real sweet and feminine. So we made this hugely oversized bow that we just draped over a Christmas tree that seconds as her nightlight for the Christmas season. Live garland swoops over both of her armoires. We switched out her Christmas bedding, brought in her reindeer. And then I thought that this color was so pretty. It's kind of like a mauve-y red, and it tied into her bedding, which is actually not Christmassy, just Christmas in color. So I added some to the wreaths on each of her window, and I love how it kind of creates a little polka dot effect along each of the wreaths and makes it, again, real feminine and cute. In the exterior windows of our home, we have these candles in the window, and they are battery powered and they're on a timer, and you can see them all the way outside from the street. And it's, again, just a really fun glow that makes the Christmas season in the home feeling really magical. Over here on her dresser, we've got some live mixed with dried, mixed with faux greenery, our calendar counting down the days to Christmas, some Christmas books that we read to her at night, and then her fun little winter friends sitting here enjoying some Christmas time together, the oversized bow on her tree, and the small floral pattern in her bedding, mixed with the fun pops of polka dots in her wreath, really tie in together and make the room feel fun and feminine and just really sweet for a little girl. Into our primary bedroom, we've got real saturated colors, a little bit of the green, a little bit of the red, and again, some festivity. Along our 16-foot long boucle headboard, which already kind of feels like snow, we have some faux garland so that it doesn't ruin the headboard, mixed with some lighting. We swapped out our bedding. I love a good stripe. And then I had this bolster pillow made that just droops all the way down to the ground. It has a nice velvet fabric that really screams Christmas. We added some dried florals in 2 different colors to bring a pop of Christmas in. Some live greenery here. And we've got about 4 of these sconces in our bedroom suite. And so just draping a little bit of garland over them draws attention to them, makes them fun and festive, and is real easy to clean up at the end of the Christmas season. A little bit of touch of lighting and some garland wrapped around our vases and on our mantle, and wreaths on the window. This one was really kind of a no-brainer. It's just repeated garland and greenery, and that's all we really needed to make it tie in and feel Christmassy. And I think that we've accomplished it, and it feels nice to wake up to a real warm Christmas feeling. Heading into our primary bathroom, we've again got the striped runner here in between our closets. I love a good stripe, and because of the stripe, we're pairing it with a solid. We've got this matching velvet that goes along with the bolster pillow on our bed. This is the first wreath that I made. It's my favorite one, which is why I put it in our bathroom so I can see it all the time. And it's just a pre-made Costco wreath that we added to and foraged from 3 different homes to make this really fun, full, and natural and whimsical feeling wreath. Hung it by some gauze. We've again got the gauze and some garland over our sconce. All the colors are tying in really nicely. This piece is here year round but you can even see a little bit of the burgundy and the olive greens and the beiges. The colors together make me so happy. And bringing in this more warm color that I'm not really used to having in my home, but the deep burgundies, which almost have like a brownness to them, make it really Christmassy as opposed to just earthy and natural. So I'm really enjoying all of the reds this season. Now at the top of the stairs, this is where all of the children's bedrooms are. So we continued on with every sconce in our home, adding a bit of greenery. This is our guest bedroom. And I didn't want to overdo it anywhere in the house, but I wanted to touch on every room just enough to give it a Christmassy feel. So in here, we have a wreath over the bed, some garland over a chandelier, which is one of my favorite things to do. Some greenery sprinkled about where it makes sense. And again, the candles in the window all together just give just enough of a Christmas feeling for our guests. We kept it pretty simple in the bathrooms. We've got 2 chrome sconces that we just drooped oversized droopy bows onto, and again, brought in greenery. I think every bedroom, every bathroom, every room should have a bit of greenery in it that correlates with the season. On the other side of the bathroom, we head through to our oldest daughter, Hallie's bedroom, where we kept it pretty simple. We've got candles, we've got greenery, and I found this really fun ribbon for gift wrapping that's little pearls, and so we cut them into strands of different lengths, drooped them over the more masculine chandelier, and it kind of looks like snow and icicles, and I think it's just real adult that goes along with Hallie, and it just kind of adds a little bit of fun. Some fresh roses, and then her mood board is full of Christmas fashion inspo, which is totally her. And I just love that she gets to get inspo, and I love having these around the house and switching our mood boards out also for the Christmas season. Upstairs, our 3 boys share a bathroom, and it is a little tight, so we put some Christmas trees in there for just the perfect little touch off of Christmas. This is an area in our home which we maybe haven't shown before. We're at the top of both stairs. And we've got another pin board full of family memories, all in black and white. This is really fun to come and look at and pass through and just kind of see how we've all grown. And again, the sconces overhead feature just a little bit of Christmas that really makes the whole house, once it's all tied together, a real simple and natural Christmas. Over the 4-car garage, we have the boys' room and our home theater. This room is so nice and dark and moody, and we love watching Christmas movies in here. So we added just a little bit of garland over John the deer, and we actually brought him upstairs. He was downstairs in the hallway, and I think he's much more comfortable up here. And then design hack, if you've got a bunch of media stuff that you don't know how to hide, do a whole Christmas tree lot all around them. And that's what we've done here. We got all of our extra Christmas trees and just kind of arrange them here, and now you don't see all of the ugly, unsightly media stuff. Sorry, honey. But this makes me happy because now the whole room looks finished, and my sister's coming into town from Seattle, and we are all planning on watching Home Alone in here, and I'm just so excited for all the memories we're going to make, and memories that we've already made in this room. It is a fun, special room to have. These fur blankets are no joke. When you sit on the sectional and you put the fur blanket on you, I dare you not to fall asleep. It's really hard. Okay, this is one of the last rooms I'm going to show you. This was a last-minute vision that I had. Daniel and the team pulled it off so perfectly, and it really just feels like childhood Christmas magic. Take a look. In here, we have draped garland over all 3 of the closets with a little shiny star garland over them. And check this out. I mean, if this doesn't scream childhood Christmas magic, I don't know what does. We've never done anything with this beam, and it's the only room in our house where we have a pitched ceiling. And I thought, oh my goodness, we need to do something special in here for the kids. These are teenagers, so they don't need a lot of fuss, but they still really love it. So they got their own live Christmas tree, a train that goes around the base, and this tinsel, my goodness, I thought, this is kind of ugly. No, it makes it so much more fun. And then this guy was hours and hours and hours. This was a Pinterest idea that came to life. I saw a DIY for handmade Christmas ornaments. So just one of these. And then they tied a string to it. And I thought, oh, that's so fun and that's so pretty and different. What if I made 1,000 of them, stapled them together and made a garland? And it couldn't have turned out better. I love it, love it, love it. We're gonna save these and reuse these year after year. I know I keep talking about grandkids. We're not even close to having grandkids. But wouldn't this be like the most fun bunk room for just like 15 grandkids to sleep in? I wanna sleep in this room. I think this is one of my favorite rooms in the house. What do you think? For the finale of the home tour, we're headed down the back staircase toward our mudroom. This is the room that we usually access the house from. So we've got baskets and hooks for all of our shoes and backpacks. But at Christmas time, we like to display our family Santas. This is something that Daniel and I started the year we got married, and we collect one Santa every year. We write the year that we got it on the bottom of the Santa. Some of them are vintage, some of them are new. They're all a little different, and it makes for a real fun collection here. So we like to display this somewhere different every year, but for the last few years, it's been ending up here. Our family corkboard is where we show all of this year's Christmas cards that we receive. I made this fun little bouquet. Looks like I'm in my granny era here with roses, poinsettias, and little berries, but I think it's just a fun little touch. We've got another handmade mini rosemary wreath, our umbrellas for those extra dreary days, and it's a nice little welcome every time we come home. We hope you enjoyed the tour. I loved sharing it with you, and Merry Christmas.